Hello, my name's your mother, this is my YouTube channel, and today we're doing an emergency review because RuPaul just gave us an early Christmas present, and there's no time for an intro, so let's start the video. The season 18 queens have been revealed, and they have the worst fucking names I've ever fucking heard. Almost every single one of these names sounds AI generated. The best names are terrible dad jokes, and the worst names sound like names that better drag queens decided not to use. Juicy Love Dion? More like, are you f***ing kidding me? At this point, I'm gonna audition for Drag Race Season 19, and my name's gonna be Kinker Sore Johnson, because drag queens' names don't have to sound like names anymore, and I don't know when that started happening. Mandy Mango? Mandy Mango sounds like a smoothie I would take 2 sips of and then throw directly into the garbage, because that's where the name belongs. There's also a Discord Adams, because why the f*** not? It's a terrible drag name and still one of the better ones, because all the girls on this cast got their names from someone who hates drag queens. This Meet the Queens was cheap, disappointing, and useless. We don't need another season of Drag Race right now. What we need is for them to stop half-assing the show and take the time to find drag queens who care enough about their drag to make names that don't sound like they came up with them right before the camera started rolling. It's like none of them had drag names, and then they got on Drag Race on accident, and then they were like, fuck, I gotta come up with a drag name. What about, Vida Von Teese? Star? Yeah, how about You Stay Home? Also, I'm confused because why have all the modern promos been terrible? Did Drag Race sign a contract at some point saying they can't spend more than $50 on these things, or what? The promo was super short and also impossible to watch if you're sensitive to light. I literally had to stop watching halfway through because it kept flashing me like the Men in Black mind wipe thing. It was awful. But from what I saw before I had to stop watching, there wasn't much to see anyway. And here's the thing, we don't really know anything about these queens at the moment, so what we get to do now is just shit all over them. Later, we'll find out that this girl has a bionic spine and this girl's family all burned alive in a fire, and so we have to make fun of the dolls while we can before they start talking about all that sad shit. And to round up this emergency review with a few more distasteful comments about people I don't know, I found a lot of these girls very, 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 very annoying, and I won't single anyone out in particular because 1, that feels more mean than I need to be, and 2, it was like all of them. I watched the whole Meet the Queens. It was so fucking boring and a complete waste of everyone's time, but anyway, I watched the whole thing and I wasn't particularly impressed with anyone in any way. More than looks, I didn't see anyone's personalities I wanted to see more of, and the whole thing felt like grape-flavored cough medicine. It made me nauseous and I didn't want any more of it. In conclusion, am I excited for season 18 of RuPaul's Drag Race? Not particularly, and part of that is because it doesn't seem like RuPaul's Drag Race is particularly excited about season 18 of RuPaul's Drag Race. This whole promo felt very cheap. I feel like since season 6, the promos have progressively gotten worse and worse with each passing year, and I think it's all come to a head this year because they literally, they didn't do anything. And then also, like I said, it was like nearly impossible for me to watch. I could only watch it like half of it before I was about to get a migraine. I also saw a TikTok on somewhere, if I can find it, I'll put it in here, of the person that actually allegedly edited the promo for RuPaul's Drag Race Season 18. So to that person, if you see this somehow, I think you did a great job because the theme was light, and I'm sure like as the editor you don't get to decide exactly what you're going to do. I just wish that whoever was directing the promo didn't make the direction or the theme of the promo seizure. Maybe I'm just a liberal snowflake and hashtag too woke, but there wasn't a warning or anything. It was very hard to watch. Alright, now we're done with the review, so I'm gonna use this time as an opportunity to address a few things. Number 1, the channel is growing, which is a good thing, but that means that there are new people seeing my reviews that don't understand what it is I do here. And so to those people, I know I don't do drag, and I know I'm not RuPaul, and I know my opinion doesn't matter, and that's the point. I am trying to cultivate a space where people can give unprofessional opinions and just talk, because newsflash, the professionals usually all agree with each other, and that's boring. If you would like to watch a drag queen that's been on TV talk about how being a drag queen on TV is hard, then you can go watch that drag queen on TV. What I do here is what millions of queer people do around the world every day, just without a camera. Also, recently I've gotten a lot of comments telling me that I'm a hateful person that's just bitter and has nothing good to say about anything, and all I want to do is complain. My response to that is that the only reason I started this YouTube channel is because I felt so strongly in a negative way toward All Stars 10 that I just had to make a YouTube video about it to find other people that hated what they were doing as much as I did. So yeah, my thing is kinda complaining. And then also, I've gotten a few comments telling me that I talk about race too much. And to that I say, I apologize for being too black, because when you say that I talk about race too much, what you're saying is that I'm too black. And I agree, I am too black, because if I was less black, then I could care about race less because it would affect me less. But unfortunately, for all the people that want me to talk about race less, I am black, and I am as black as I am, and so I have to care, and I have to talk about it, because if I don't talk about it, if we don't talk about it, then who is? Not y'all, not Mr. and Mrs. You talk about race too much. And also, while we're talking about it, I would like to know, what is the white sanctioned amount of race talk that is allowed, that is allotted? And that's how I know a lot of y'all are stupid or very young, because when I started watching Drag Race, I was young and stupid, and I thought it was a perfect show and there was nothing wrong with it. But as I get older, I'm able to see the issues, and so I complain about them. People who complain are smarter than those who want to be positive about everything, because the ability to compare, contrast, and critique takes an amount of brain cells that not all of you have. Sorry. I simply won't complain about being smarter than the average person, and you should know, dear viewer, that if you're watching me, or you watch other people like me who like to complain, then you're also probably smarter than the average person, because it takes a certain amount of intelligence to not only complain, but to listen to people complain and analyze those complaints. When you go into my comment section, 9 times out of 10, you don't see a bunch of people just being hateful and just complaining needlessly about a bunch of things. You'll see people going, I never considered that, and I'm not sure if I agree, but blah, 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 blah. The people in my comment section are engaging in critical thought and analysis, and to bitches with brains smoother than polished marble, that seems like needless negativity, because their brains don't have the required amount of wrinkles to operate at the speeds to understand what's going on. And so if you'd like me to stop talking about race or be more positive, then you can go to an All Lives Matter rally or shove some glitter up your butt, because I'm not doing it. Also, I'm just not very good at being positive. It's not the way I was raised, and the way I praise things is by Anyway, despite all the annoying comments that I get, I'm happy to report that for the most part, y'all are super nice and super supportive, so thank you so much. Y'all will see me again to talk about something at some point, sometime. It's probably gonna be season 18 of RuPaul's Drag Race, and hopefully the actual season is a lot better than the promo and the Meet the Queens, because if that's any indication of what we're in for, then Hey kitty girl, it's your world. Oh, and another thing, I'm not done. I thought I was done. And you know what? I'm not. I've got another thing. The song in the background, is that a new RuPaul song that I haven't heard? An unreleased track or something like that? I didn't like it. Hey kitty girl, it's your world when you want the people in my comment section, for the most part, are engaging in and that's when you really get all in, but then you have to put the mic down, because you get 2 of them, you start going like this, and then that's when it really gets. So, oh wait, what's it? What? Oh, anyway,